Greetings, YouTube. Danny Staten here on the Daily Damn Blog. I'm back with another comic book review. I'm back with a comic book review of a movie comic that I know some people will probably call the good stuff. Other people, not so much. I want to dedicate this Labyrinth comic book based on the movie to my friend Snarky. Snarky likes Labyrinth. I did a little Labyrinth video on one of my other channels and she left a comment. She was probably the only one who watched it and left a comment. It's appreciated, Snarky, but I guess you like Labyrinth, so I pulled Labyrinth out of my comic book warehouse and decided to have a look at it. I'm going to call this character Snarky. All right, let's get rolling along. Does anybody remember the movie Labyrinth? Labyrinth. I've always had trouble saying that word. I remember that movie. It had David Bowie prancing around and singing in it, and I liked it a lot. My kids made me watch it till my eyeballs bled, so I'm really going to enjoy reviewing a movie comic about that movie, yes. So let's get started, right?
Pictures announces the collaboration of three extraordinary talents. Jim Henson, creator of The Muppets and Dark Crystal.
Where you go with a head like that?
George Lucas, creator of the Star Wars saga. And one of the most innovative forces in modern entertainment, David Bowie. Together, they will take you into a dazzling world of fantasy and adventure.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
A world where anything seems possible, and nothing is what it seems.
Everything I've done for you. I move the stars with no one. Run so long, run so far.
The world of Labyrinth.
For those that didn't remember the quest to save the baby from the Goblin King, I had to throw a trailer in there. I wouldn't be me if I didn't do that. Right? Right, Snarky? Right. All right, let's get this nightmare underway, because if he was expecting it to have anything to do with the trailer I just showed you, you're like me and dumbfoundedly going, what the beep is going on here? Because this book, I think it takes place after the movie, and it's in the future, and it's all everywhere, and let's just go through it. And here you see what I should have read. I just saw Jim Henson's Labyrinth. I didn't read it. It was the sequel called Under the Spell, but it's the #1 from 2018. I want to slap everybody's name you see written here before you for fooling me. Shame on you. So our book opens up in Middle Earth, where we got a group of hobbits rolling around through the desert in search of some golden ring. So in full panels, brought to you by the Daily Damn Blog, I give you Middle Earth. No, what, wrong? Land of the Goblin King, the Enchanted Forest. Whoa. So our hero Snartness takes off with her band of merry hobbits and dwarves, Thor, Bilbo, as they travel in search of Sherrock's Mountain so they can find the magic ring. Snartness has captured a magic sword. She probably got them from some trolls. So after much traveling through the deep dark deserts of Middle Earth, Snartness and the dwarves reached the mountain of Sauron, where the hobgoblins, the orcs, and all the creatures of darkness have gathered to see Sauron the Wizard, that we will call David Bowie, which we will call the Goblin King. Yeah, you get it right. Anyway, the Goblin King stands before all in awe. Wah, wah, wah. I know I really should stop it and do this book right, but I'm sorry, I just can't because it's really, really bad drawed, really horrible. It's really a ripoff. The cover is the only thing I like about this book so far, and I'm sure you will agree. I wanted a movie comic with a little girl looking for a baby. I didn't want this, what do you call that? I didn't want this Japanese anime piece of crap looking Goblin King David Bowie ripoff teaching Frodo and Bilbo how to shoot arrows at a target in middle freaking Earth. If I wanted a Hobbit book with a bunch of damn dwarves shooting arrows and teaching their dogs how to fetch the arrows in long, wasted, boring panels of training, I would have bought a Lord of the Rings comic. Don't you just love the way little Snarky can talk to the animals? She teaches the animals how to fetch the arrows back. Yeah, and she puts on her magic suit of armor for 3 seconds before she takes off and says it's too heavy, I can't wear it. Ah! So once again, in full panels brought to you by the Daily Damn Blog, this isn't a comic book. It's a graphic god-blasted novel. It's so freaking long. It's starting this in the bands of dwarves and elves and every reject from The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings that ever existed. Confront the Goblin King about the magic rings. And the rebellion of Middle-earth has begun as Snarky and her dwarves and elves flip on the orcs and hobgoblins and do massive battle with the armies of darkness. Snarky, you're our hero. After putting her in the comic book, Snarky will probably never watch another one of my videos again. No, I'm just kidding. I know she loves me deep down inside no matter what she tells other people and says about me. Alrighty. So Snarky squares off with this teeny tiny Scottish rat in an epic battle, but Scottish rats don't last long, and she swords him and says, you will suffer a fate worse than the fires of Mog. If you want to check out some real monsters, check out my friend Bigfoot Michigan Rob over at True Cryptid Encounters book. That's right, check out his new book. You can find him on YouTube doing a YouTube show, but the book is what's important because guess what? Very soon there's going to be a part 2. A part 2 is true. You'll have to get that. Oh, God, I had to take a break. I had to take a pause for the cause. That's one thick comic book by. Anyway, this is the part where I do a few shout-outs, so let me get to them. Hey, I revised my list a little bit. Hey, check this out. Be sure to check out my good friend David Sunstorm and his incredible brother Stephen Sunstorm. The Good Stuff Guys here on YouTube. Be sure to check out my friend Pat McCormick at the Golden Rage of TV. Thank you, Pat McCormick, for letting me use music for my live streams and my videos. You're awesome. And a special shout out to my partner in crime, Thrash Pondo Pons. You know, Pons saved every one of us. And now we're teaming up and we're going to save all you mother. Hey, and check this out. After you check out the guys I just mentioned, be sure to check out BK on the Air, Big Guys 45's, Corey's comedy channel. You know, we love Corey. He's the butt of all our jokes. Be sure to check out Sarah, My Flock is Everywhere, the Nostalgic Pod Blast. That's why he does it. Retro Nerd Girl, Brain Benders, Banners, our girl Chrissy, AAP Homestead, AAP for life. And the Apologetic Geek and Harold the Hatter. See, I added a few. I'll do some more and add a couple more good stuff channels to my shout-out list for next time. Oh, I guess I gotta throw this in here. Be sure to join me and my partner in crime, Thrash Pondo Pons, on Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern, when we take the place of Unapologetic Geek on his weeks off, as we'll be doing our first YouTube show. We've been talking about it for years, and now it's finally gonna happen. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Remember, you heard it here first. And be sure to check out the show. We promise it'll be something new, different, entertaining, and may even make you, well, I can't say that on YouTube. Oh, yeah, when I'm giving out that list of people you should check out, be sure to check out Eric Wood at Gypsy Road. He changes the name so much it's kind of hard to keep up. Every time I add him to the list, he changes the name. So, in full panels brought to you by the Daddy Dan blog, our story continues, gets more dismal and dismal. So, Snarky runs off, teams up with her cool dog, Toto, and they go in quest of the rings of power with their friends, the dwarves, and whatever in the blue heck the thing with the horns is supposed to be. And of course, it wouldn't be a Lord of the Rings ripoff if we didn't have a bunch of little Mike Belize looking elves running around up in here. Wait a minute. Hey, he's got Harper's haircut. Ah! Hey, Mike Harper. Hey, you got that haircut, right, dude? So, Snarky's crew, old Bilbo, Frodo, a couple other dwarves decide to have some meat and drink it up with an ogre. Well, that's always a good idea. Who does that remind me of? I can't put my finger on it. I found a Dr. Wu totem pole in here. Could that really be Dr. Wu? Oh, don't you just love comedy pratfalls? Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, the great powerful Mask of Wu. I bet if you put it on, you get drunk, fall over, and smoke some weed with bug parts in it. Anyway, the great Mask of Wu had startled the little dwarf, and he had fallen and busted his bottoms on the ground. The dwarf is upset about that, and he cannot understand why Wu has been cast in mass form. Is this a clue to the Ring of Power? And before you leave 1,000 comments, yes, I know the book's totally about something else. Yes, I know it's part 2 of the Labyrinth, supposedly. If it is, it's like the worst part 2 that ever existed. I know all this stuff. This book sucks. The art in this book is horrible. The story is even worse. And if I didn't tell it the way I'd tell it, I'd probably fall off freaking sleep. Yeah. Anyway, check it out. The magic bong of Wu has been discovered, as they show us the great mask of power. I thought they were looking for a ring, but no, the mask of power. If you put this on, you will have all the powers of Jim Carrey in an equally bad movie as to this comic book. Wah, wah, wah. So in full, dismal, horrible drawn panels brought to you by the Daddy Dan blog. I pray for this dismal comic book to end and be over so that I can upload it on YouTube, put it in a bag, and never, ever look at it again, which I promise you, I won't. Bilbo runs in fear as the wraith appears. He shoots through a hobbit hole to the other side, where he runs into Surrak, the wizard, the Goblin King, the Lord of the Rings. Well, Bilbo, you gonna pay the price now. The great and powerful Sauron snaps his fingers, clicks up a brick, clicks his heels together, and turns Bilbo into a tiny little fairy. Now he will have to live in San Francisco for the rest of his life. Just kidding. I got you. Nah, he brings Bilbo over to the dark side. Bilbo uses his little spray penis invention to take out fairies, elves, and talking owls like the one seen in Clash of the Titans, only the real version. And the call goes up all over the land that the bloody Goblin King would strike again. Everybody spreads rumors of fear that Sauron has left the tower. Orcs, dwarves, natives, hobbits, all prepare for the war of Middle-earth. Oh, God. Including Nazi, dwarf, hobbit, smag. I don't know what the heck that's supposed to be, but I find it somewhat disturbing. No! Boom! The war so loud it popped all the way back to France in 1941 as hobbits, elves, dwarves, and even the evil orcs run in fear from the boom master. That's right, cannons, tanks, and loud explosions are going off, but it's all part of Story of the Pirate King? A story about the Snarky Pirate King. Okay. See, I told you Snarky wasn't done in this book yet. A tribute to Snarky. Astride and Smug over here has found the book that will lead him to the power rings. It is the Book of Snarky, and the books of Snarky contain all Snarky's secrets, all her magic spells for making you fall in love, all her magic spells for turning you into a squash in her garden. Snarky's magic spell book as also contains the secret of where the magic rings are hid, apparently. So in these wonderfully drawn panels right out of a 1939 comic strip in the back of a newspaper that you threw away or used in the birdcage, we see the bird. She has found her friend, my flock, in her bird form. My flock gives her advice like a wise old owl would if the wise old owl hadn't got eaten earlier. And the wise old bird, the little phoenix known as my flock, sends Snarky's friends off in search of her. Through heck and high water, I will find that there girl. Yeah, I will. Because I'm from the South. I'm like a bloodhound right there, boy. Yep, yep, yep. And the search goes on as we go through the books of Snarkness to find the secret location of the ring. And thank you, God. Finally, I come to the end as I go through mountains and mountains of Snarky's books, only to discover the location of the rings at the very end of the book. You'll have to wait till part 2 comes out to find out what happens. And since I promise you I will never get part 2 of this fucking dismal piece of shit, you don't ever have to worry about me talking about it again. Anyway, you get this horrible crap on the back cover that makes you want to cry. We're going to wrap up the back panel with this horrible piece of crap that makes you want to cry even harder because it's another waste of space. So I present to you the Labyrinth comic book with a great cover that has absolutely nothing to do with the flipping movie. It's just really dismal nightmare. And I'm going to love putting the cover on the wall because I think the cover is kind of cool. But unfortunately, the cover is the only cool thing about this piece of shit. I swear it is. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments below. Snarky, I hope you enjoyed my look at Labyrinth. I dedicate this video to you. I put you in it. I hope you don't cuss me out. Once again, be sure to join me and my partner in crime, Thrash Pondo Pons, as we save the world in about 13 days on YouTube, Sunday afternoons around 2 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to check us out. We'll be on my channel and his live if everything goes okay. And until next time, this is Daddy Staten on the Daily Damn Blog. I'll come back again with an even worse comic book next time, probably, as the horror days of Halloween begin. So from now to December the 5th, things are only going to get worse. I promise you. Blog over.